Hello, creators and innovators. In a world that's just overflowing with financial noise, what really separates the successful investors from everyone else? It's not some complex algorithm, and it's definitely not about secret stock tips. Nope. It all comes down to mastering 7 core qualities. So let's dive in and break them down.
Okay, let's start with a really important question. What do you think is the single biggest threat to your portfolio? I mean, is it a sudden market crash, a global recession, maybe some kind of geopolitical event? Well, the real answer, it's probably a lot closer to home than you think.
You see, the real threat isn't the market's volatility. That's just a constant part of the game. The single biggest risk to your money is, believe it or not, your own emotional reaction to all that chaos. In today's market, mastering your internal mindset, well, that's the ultimate competitive advantage. And that is what turns market confusion into real financial confidence.
So, how do we actually build that confidence? We're going to start with defense. Think of this part like your financial armor. These are the core qualities that protect you from pressure. They stop you from making those costly emotional mistakes, and they make sure you can stay in the game for the long haul.
Our defense is really built on 4 pillars. Having courage when everyone else is scared, checking your ego at the door, practicing some serious patience, and making sure you have zero emotional attachment to any one investment. Let's kick things off with courage.
So, quality number 1 is courage. Now, this isn't about reckless gambling. This is what we call courage over fear. It's the discipline to take action when everybody else is panicking. Just think about market crashes. While other people are selling out of pure fear, courageous investors are buying amazing companies at a huge discount. That right there is how generational wealth is built.
Next up, no ego. This is a big one. You simply cannot tie your personal self-worth to how your portfolio is doing day to day. Losses are gonna happen. They're basically the price of admission for making games. The key is to see them not as a personal failure, but just as data. A successful investor uses losses like tuition. You learn from the mistake without letting it crush your confidence. Okay, quality number 3 is patience. And this isn't about just sitting around and waiting. It's about knowing the difference between trying to time the market and having price discipline. We don't try to predict when the market will go up. Instead, we wait for a great company's stock to drop to a price that represents incredible value, where the price is actually less than what the business is worth. Patience is all about waiting for the right price, not the right day on the calendar.
And our final defensive quality is no attachment. The rule here is so simple. Do not fall in love with a stock. If a company you own becomes fundamentally overvalued, you have to have the discipline to sell it and book your profits. You can then take that capital and rotate it into the next great opportunity. Emotional attachment is the absolute enemy of compounding your wealth.
All right, with our defense locked in, we're protected from making those major mistakes. So now it's time to go on offense. This is how we shift gears from just preserving our capital to actively growing it by seizing the right opportunities.
Now, the offensive playbook isn't about complicated trades or anything like that. It's all about strategic positioning. It really comes down to 3 power plays: continuously upgrading your knowledge, leveraging the wisdom of a coach, and always having the financial firepower to strike when an opportunity pops up.
First up, relentless learning. In a market that changes literally every single day, ignorance is incredibly expensive. You have to be a student of market trends, macroeconomic shifts, and the deep fundamentals of the businesses you're investing in. Your knowledge isn't just an edge, it's your primary weapon.
The second offensive play is finding a coach. Look, nobody succeeds in a vacuum. A great coach can give you guidance that's based on years of experience, they can shorten your learning curve, and maybe most importantly, they hold you accountable to your own strategy when your emotions start running high.
And now for our final and maybe our most powerful tactical advantage. It's a really simple rule, and it's represented by just one number: 20%. So what does that actually mean for your portfolio?
It means always keeping about 20% of your portfolio in cash. Now, this isn't dead money just sitting there. This is your opportunity fund. The market will always, without fail, present you with these random, unexpected chances to buy great assets on sale. If you're 100% invested, you can't do anything about it. This cash gives you the power and the flexibility to pounce when other people are forced to sit on the sidelines.
So when you combine this defensive discipline with an offensive strategy, you create something really powerful. You start to embody what we call the modern investor. And you begin to realize that at the end of the day, your strategy, your analysis, all of it comes right back to your mindset. So here it is, the complete checklist for the modern investor's essence. This isn't just a list of random tips, it's a whole system. The defensive qualities protect your money and your confidence, while the offensive plays position you for real growth. This is the framework for sustainable, long-term success.
And that brings us to our final thought. We spend so much time analyzing stocks, looking at charts, and following market trends, but your mindset is, and it always will be, your single greatest asset. So the real question is this: are you investing in it?